हाय गाइस, बोल बसंती पॉडकास्ट सीजन 2 के एपिसोड 2 में आप सबका स्वागत है। ओके, एपिसोड 1 में मैंने आपसे पूछा था कैसा लग रहा है ये लोगो। काफ़ी लोगों को अच्छा लग रहा है। इनफैक्ट उनको लग रहा है कि अगर मैं थोड़े से फ्रिंजेस करा के ऐसे हेडफोन लगाऊँ तो मैं भी कुछ ऐसे ही लगूंगी। इसीलिए तो बनाया है ये लोगो। मेरे साथ ऐसा बहुत बार हुआ है जहाँ मैंने खुद लोगों को, स्पेशली मेरे फादर को ही बोला होगा कि पापा डोंट ट्राई टू बी अ डॉक्टर, ओके। किसी वजह से वो डॉक्टर है और वी शुड लिसन टू व्हाट द डॉक्टर हैज सेड। लेकिन आपको पता है मैंने कैसे इस सीख को सीखा? क्योंकि मैं खुद भुगत चुकी हूँ डॉक्टर की दी हुई सलाह को ना मान के। सो आई हैव बेसिकली रप्चर्ड माई राइट एंकल। आप सोच रहे हो कितनी टूटी फूटी हुई। एनीवे, सो मैंने अपना राइट एंकल ओके 3 बार रप्चर किया है। पहली बार कॉलेज में, दूसरी बार जब मैं बॉम्बे शिफ्ट ही हुई थी एंड आई हैड फाउंड माई सेल्फ अ जॉब, और तीसरी बार मुझे याद नहीं है क्योंकि अब तो आदत सी है मुझको ऐसे जीने की। तो पहली बार जब हुआ तब डॉक्टर ने बोला कि 1 महीने का प्लास्टर होगा, 4 महीने तक आपको केयर करनी पड़ेगी, 6 महीने तक के बाद आप थोड़ा बहुत डांस कर सकती हैं और 1 साल के बाद आप फ्रीली केयर फ्री होकर डांस कर सकती हैं। और मैं अपने आप को पता नहीं कौन सा जेम्स बॉन्ड की छठी औलाद समझ रखी था मैंने। आई गॉट दैट प्लास्टर रिमूव्ड इन 2 वीक्स क्योंकि वो वीकेंड की रात थी। उसी सैटरडे रात को अपने दोस्तों के साथ जाके हील पहन के मैंने फुल ऑन रात को डांस किया है। एंड माइंड यू, आई डोंट टेक पेन किलर्स, no drugs और no दारू, nothing. Without consumption of any of these things, मैं डांस कर रही थी हील्स के साथ एंड आई वाज लाइक व्हाट 6 महीना साल भर है, डॉक्टर पागल है। दूसरी बार जब हुआ देन बिकॉज आई हैड फाउंड माई सेल्फ अ जॉब एंड आई कुड नॉट अफोर्ड कि मैं इतने दिन रेस्ट कर सकूँ, तो कैसे भी क्रेप बैंडेज प्लास्टर जैसे भी करके लंगड़ी टांग खेलते हुए अपना काम कर रही थी मैं। But over these years, what happened was कि technically my ankle never got the time to rest, recover और relax. मतलब मैंने उस पर फुल प्रेशर दिया, फुल टॉर्चर मारा, और आज ये हालत है कि even if I'm standing, forget walking or dancing or jogging or exercising, even if I am standing, my ankle kind of twists. वो जो जहाँ रप्चर होता है वैसे कुछ तो ऐसा ट्विस्ट जैसा टड़क ऐसे होता है, इट पेन्स। फिर मैं कुछ ऐसे पैर को करती हूँ, थोड़ा पेन होता है कुछ देर तक एंड आई कंटिन्यू विद वॉट एवर आई वॉज डूइंग। तो जैसे मैंने डॉक्टर की नहीं सुनी, 1 बार नहीं 3 बार एग्जैक्टली वैसे ही व्हेन आई वॉज डेटिंग माई एक्स, I didn't listen to myself. I didn't listen to my gut feelings. I didn't listen to any of my well-wishers, be it my friends, my family, cousins, colleagues, whatsoever. नहीं सुना मैंने। और जैसा कि मेरे अंकल के साथ हुआ वैसे ही मेरी यहाँ पर भी बैंड बज गई। I landed up in a big time mess. And that mess was created by myself because I was blindfolded. Okay, so I'll tell you how it started. अभी तो आपको मेरे पता ही नहीं है मेरी सो कॉल्ड लव स्टोरी शुरू कैसे हुई। I met this guy at my common friends birthday party and हम बातचीत आज कर रहे थे। Some people thought that we know each other for a very long time and all, और हम jokes crack कर रहे थे। I don't remember exactly, but he said something and I don't know, my intuition just gave me a sign like, okay, you know what? Just stay away from this person. You're going to land up in mess. I just shunned it. I dismissed whatever my intuition said to me. So now, after meeting at that party, he connected with me on Facebook and he asked me for my number. And then I think same day or next day, I don't remember, we got over a call. And he spoke to me for good 4 hours. And he was under the influence of alcohol. थोड़ा बहुत उसने पी रखी थी, I don't know कितनी पी रखी थी, but it was very evident that he's a little high. मैं बोल रही थी मैं सुन रही हूँ ना, मैं ओके कब फोन रखेगा ये इंसान। एंड देन आउट ऑफ द ब्लू ही जस्ट सेज रिचा डेट मी ना, एंड आई एम लाइक व्हाट। तो मैंने कहा लिसन, यू नो व्हाट, आई थिंक यू आर काइंड ऑफ ड्रंक राइट नाउ एंड अभी बहुत टाइम हो गया, लेट्स जस्ट कट द कॉल एंड आराम से बात करते। नहीं यू टेल मी यू वांट, देखा हम बाद में बात करते हैं। आई डिस्कनेक्टेड द कॉल। Later, again he reached out to me and this time he was all sober and everything and he said, oh, we should catch up and all. Okay, ठीक है, he's forgotten probably, he does not remember. Okay, so I went and met him at one coffee shop, and he again asked me the same thing. I was like, Manika, why do you want to date me? And then he was like, oh, because I want to know you. And I said, for you to know me or anybody to know me, you can be friends. Why do you want to date me and all? So he was like, nahi, I want to date you. And I didn't say anything like, no, yes, no, whatever. Then slowly gradually we started knowing each other, we started meeting and everything. And then it happened so that just between us, it was understood that we are in a relationship. He said things that you're meant to say when you're in a relationship, like, you know, all confessing your feelings, blah, blah, blah. By then I was like, okay, chalo, you know, let's date. Now, in spite of the fact that he was the one who asked me out, wanted to date me, this guy didn't acknowledge our relationship for a year or more. And I never understood that. Initially, usne bola he needs time, which was a little awkward for me because he was the one who was dying and desperate to date me. So he needed time. Then he said, you know, let's not label it. Why do we need to label it? Blah, blah, blah. And I, as usual, was just like, I was like, yeah, actually makes sense. How does it matter? Like, he was a smooth talker. So even I would get, you know, caught up with whatever he said. And I'll be like, हाँ, actually, you know, as long as you and I know, दुनिया को क्यों बताना, नजर लग जाती, God knows what all things he said, to convince the fact that, you know, you don't need to, the world does not need to know about a relationship, which was fine. But having said that, he would ask me to do everything that probably you would ask your girlfriend to do, like take care of him, be there for him whenever he needs you, you know, party wo apne ghar pe kuch organize karega, gathering karega, and I'll be like taking care of everybody like the good host. And when the time will come, because you know, लोग भी देख रहे हैं, समझ रहे हैं कि कुछ तो है, लोग अंधे तो नहीं है, बेवकूफ तो नहीं है ना, मतलब unlike me, they were smart enough. And they were like, oh, so who's this girl? Are you like, you know, are you dating her? Like, some people obviously knew me because a common circle to tha hi hamara. No, we just friends, yaar, you know. So technically, yes, you guys guessed it right. I was in a situationship before even this probably word was invented, or at least I knew of. I didn't know of this term called situationship at that point of time. मुझे सिर्फ इतना पता था कि मैं एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग गर्लफ्रेंड हूँ जो उसकी सिचुएशन को, उसके माइंडसेट को समझने की कोशिश कर रही है, एंड इट्स कम्प्लीटली फाइन बिकॉज एज लॉन्ग एज यू नो आई थॉट दैट ही वॉज लॉयल एंड ऑनेस्ट टू मी, तो ठीक है, इट्स ओके, हाउ डज इट मैटर, ऑल ऑफ दैट. जब टाइम आएगा, वक्त आएगा, व्हेन ही विल बी कंफर्टेबल शेयरिंग इट विद द वर्ल्ड. I mean, मेरे दिमाग में ये था, you know, there are times when girls are like little uncomfortable for whatever reasons, you know, family, कभी लोग और क्या, और कोई पकड़े जाए और all that. तो मुझे लगा लड़कों के भी रीजंस हो सकते हैं ना, ऐसा थोड़ी है कि प्रॉब्लम्स आर ऑल्सो सेक्सिस्ट, की सिर्फ लड़कों को ही प्रॉब्लम, लड़कियों को ही ये प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, लड़के लोगों के लिए भी कुछ हो सकता है रीजन. सो आई saw it that way कि what if I felt the same thing, what if I was uncomfortable right now telling the world for whatever reasons. I want to take my time and I want to be sure about it. So I thought maybe he wants to be far much more surer about the relationship for him to, you know, go out there and tell the world. Because he also kind of pretended that he wants a serious relationship and, you know, a lifelong companionship, partnership. So मुझे लगा, okay, fair enough, you know, if this is that serious that we are talking about, of course, one needs to be sure. And some people need more time to get the clarity and, you know, to talk to their parents and stuff like that. And he also told that his parents are pretty conservative and my parents were cool and chill out people, they still are. So I didn't have a problem. So I was like, okay, theek hai, you can take your time, you know, my parents knew about him. So one fine day he called me to meet him, and this was some 5-star hotel or something, and he had his colleagues also over there, and I was like, what will I do there? But he said, no, come. I said, okay, theek hai. So I went there, and to my surprise, he introduced me to his colleague as his girlfriend. So I was pleasantly surprised. just containing my smile and happiness. I was celebrating in my head, in my mind, in my soul, in my entire body, like, oh my god, like, it was not just acknowledging the relationship. The fact that he told me that he was taking his time to be more sure. So I thought, now that he's sure, like, I felt like relaxed, I felt like happy. Not realizing what's coming. So once he started acknowledging and telling people that we are in relationship, or rather, sorry, not relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, he started cracking jokes, which I knew in my heart that those were insults. There were many a times that he would ask his female colleagues to join in some gathering or whatever, and he'll start comparing in the name of making fun of me, or just, I'm just pulling your leg, Baba. Literally insulting me. Initially, I was buying that. Like, I didn't realize that in the name of pulling my leg, he was literally pulling me down in front of people. Not sooner, but later, when I actually started realizing it. Because I started realizing that now I am giving the right and the leeway to everybody to crack jokes on me. Like I was that joker of the party. कि अरे अब ये आ गई, and everybody will start. Like मुझे पता चला कि यार एक मिनट पहले he was and now everybody is doing it on me, and after a point no, it used to hurt, like क्योंकि वो बहुत mean हो जाते थे लोग, including my boyfriend or my ex. So I think he might have noticed, he was smart enough to know that I'm getting hurt. So, once we were just sitting and I just wanted to talk about it, and he probably kind of anticipated कि ये conversation होने वाला है. So before I could express or say something, imagine the level of smartness and chalu that guy was. God, I genuinely feel that I was really naive, very naive and innocent to know all of these tricks and games. Maybe not anymore, but us time pe I was surely was. So before I could express or discuss this and say that I feel bad, or please don't do this or whatever, you know what, he just randomly brought this example of ki, have you seen PS I Love You? I said yes, I have, the film. So he said, do you remember that scene where Hilary Swank, the heroine of the film, is in a conversation with her mother, played by Kathy Bates. I said, which, but because there were quite a few scenes with her mother. So I said, which one? Well, that one where she, the mother, she tells ki how her husband was such a lively person and full of jokes, and he could make her laugh and sometimes even, pull her leg, only to make sure that the people in the room, know that she's with him and nobody apart from him can make fun of him. Something on these lines. So I was like, yeah, I remember. So he's like, so so when I crack joke on you, I'm literally just pulling your leg, so that the world knows, everybody knows that, you are with me and they can't. And in that very moment, I was like, yeah, makes sense. Like I literally bought that. And I forgot कि यहाँ बात सिर्फ तुम्हारे मेरी leg pulling करने की नहीं हो रही, यहाँ तो हर कोई कर रहा है. And they're not even, leg pulling is still healthy, it's harmless, it's fun. But not to an extent where I start feeling bad. I start feeling it was more like everybody's looking down upon me. I didn't realize कि कब मैंने उसके इस so called reasoning को, so called फंडे को accept तो कर ही लिया, so much so that I started cracking jokes on myself, not realizing that I'm literally dismissing and degrading myself or downsizing myself in front of others, only to appear funny in front of people, thinking that, oh, you know what, I can take jokes on myself, I can crack jokes on myself. And those others were generally his people. Some of my friends who ever got to encounter that did point us out, why do you talk such shitty things about yourself? Why do you want to do that to yourself? And I was like, no, I'm just cracking jokes, yaar, come on, it's not like that. I can, it's not just that, you know, a lot of people are able to crack jokes on others, but अपने पे joke आता है तो नहीं ले पाते हैं. But I was like, dude, look at my sportsman spirit. I can take jokes on myself. जैसे वो कहते हैं ना कि हंसी का कारण बनो, हंसी का पात्र मत बनो. You are becoming that. You are making yourself turn into a piece of mockery, like a laughing stock. And the worst part is कि तो वो खुद कर रही है अपने साथ. Forget what the others are doing to you. You yourself are downsizing yourself. And I was like, come on guys, तुम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा ही सोच रहे हो. You guys don't have a sense of humor. So my friends were like, you're just not realizing. You're just not listening what you're saying right now. Hear yourself out. And I was like, yeah, please, ऐसे करके, okay. Imagine the heights of being blindfolded. I was that blindfolded that forget having sense of humor. Now I surely know that at that point of time, I had lost the sense of respect for myself. I was left with none. Not having the respect for your own self is the shittiest feeling. And the worst thing, more worse than this, was that I didn't even know that I have lost the sense of respect, at least at that point of time. It took few more, you know, bashes and blows for me, and incidents and experiences for me to realize that what am I doing to myself? If your people, your close ones, your well-wishers, your family, your friends, more so your own gut feeling, your own intuition tells you that there's something wrong, don't fight it out, don't contest it, don't be blindfolded. Because trust me, whether the rest of the world knows it or not, whether your well-wishers knows it or not, your heart and your soul always knows the difference between toxicity and harmless fun, between pulling your leg and pulling you down. So yes, it took a while, a pretty long while for me to learn this lesson, that no matter what, never lose the sense of your respect, your self-respect. Because if you lose that, the world is there आपको मरोड़ने के लिए, आपको क्या कहते हैं उसको, मसलने के लिए. They just need somebody to take out their aggression and frustration. Anyway, थोड़ा सा heavy हो गया towards the end, तो अब लाइट करते हैं. अभी तो खुल रहा है पन्ना, अभी तो आपको और भी बहुत कुछ जानना है. But I am pretty sure, irrespective ये कहानी मेरी है, many of you, whoever are listening, will resonate to that, will probably know this feeling. And some of you might be the ones who are the culprit who've done that to others. If you are amongst those people, please learn and stop doing what you're doing. And the ones who are going through this thing or have been through this thing, trust me, I know what it feels. तो मैं ऐसे ही नहीं बोलती कि मैं आपकी वर्चुअल ट्रू फ्रेंड हूँ. चलो गाइज, आज के लिए इतना ही. अब हम लोग मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट एपिसोड में नेक्स्ट वेडनेसडे 28 अगस्त को. अंटिल देन, प्रायोरिटाइज योरसेल्फ, रिस्पेक्ट योरसेल्फ एंड लव योरसेल्फ. गाइज देखो, आई नो यू मस्ट बी थिंकिंग क्या स्टूपिड लड़की थी, बट प्लीज जज कर लो, बट बी अ लिटिल लीनियंट, ओके.